Welcome, guys, to one more Tim and Karen Flicks. And today I have for you a scene from Star Wars The Last Jedi. Uh, I brought this movie especially because I went on a marathon with my husband watching all 9 episodes in order. So we started episode 1, 2, and 3. Then we went back all the way to the 70s and watched episode 4, 5, and 6. And then went on to number 7, 8, and 9. So The Last Jedi is episode number 8. Okay, so let's take a look at the scene. The scene is a conversation between Rey and Luke Skywalker when Luke talks about his nephew. So, spoiler alert if you have not seen Star Wars, Kylo Ren, right here, is actually Ben Solo. He is Luke Skywalker's nephew, and he's gone to the dark side. Okay, so let's take a look and I'll get back.
The Jedi are romanticized, deified. But if you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris.
That's not true.
At the height of their powers, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
And a Jedi who saved him. Yes, the most hated man in the galaxy, but you saw there was conflict inside him. You believed that he wasn't gone, that he could be turned.
And I became a legend. For many years there was balance. And then I saw Ben, my nephew, with that mighty Skywalker blood. And in my hubris, I thought I could train him. I could pass on my strengths. Han was Han about it, but Leia trusted me with her son. I took him and a dozen students and began a training temple. By the time I realized I was no match for the darkness rising in him, it was too late.
What happened?
I went to confront him, and he turned on me. He must have thought I was dead. When I came to, the temple was burning. He had vanished with a handful of my students and slaughtered the rest. Leia blamed Snoke, but it was me. I failed. Because I was Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master. A legend.
The galaxy may need a legend. I need someone to show me my place in all this. And you didn't fail Kylo. Kylo failed you. I won't.
All right, now that you have seen the scene, we'll do what we always do. Let's go little by little, talking about their conversation, any grammar points I may find that you think you should know, expressions, pronunciation, anything like that. All right, so let's get to it.
The Jedi are romanticized, deified. But if you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris.
That's not true.
At the height of their powers, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
And a Jedi who saved him. Yes, the most hated man in the galaxy, but you saw there was conflict inside him. You believed that he wasn't gone, that he could be turned.
And I became a legend. For many years it was, but
All right, so let's take a look here. So this is a very, let's say, simple conversation. But let's take a look at Luke's line here. Lesson 2. Now that they are extinct, who are they talking about? The Jedi, right? Now that they're extinct, the Jedi are romanticized. This word has become very popular in the last few years. Por como assim, né? Essa palavra se tornou popular, as pessoas gostam de usar essa palavra para falar ou de uma época que foi muito boa, ou de alguma atitude que é muito romantizada, né? Romanticized. Oh, the people like to romanticize about a certain polemic topic, right? So the Jedi are romanticized. It means that people keep, oh, when we had the Jedi here, things were much better, and this and that. They were deified. Deified. That's what he says here. This is the word. What is a deity? It comes from the word deity, which means, so it comes from the word deity, which means something that is holy, sanctified. So when something is deified, it means that they basically have become idols. Okay, so people have transformed the Jedi into idols, so they are deified. Okay, so here in Brazil, where we have a really big Christian community, people who believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior. And of course, we have the evangelicals, right? And we have the Catholic. And the Catholic, they have many saints. And the patron saint of Brazil is Our Lady of Aparecida. So they have deified Our Lady of Aparecida, right? So they have made her into an idol. Okay, so this is what it means. It's a deity, uma divindade, all right? Deified, it means que foi dignificado, divin. I don't think there is such a word in Portuguese, but it means that it has become holy, sacred, all right? But, now let's continue. But if you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure. So what does it mean to strip away? Okay, so what can you think about when you think about strip? When you're stripping? I think men may know this word more than women. But jokes apart, to strip, it means to remove, to take away, take off. So strip your clothes. When I say strip your clothes, take off your clothes. Por isso que vem ali aquela palavra do striptease. Tease significa atentar, brincar, né? Striptease. So if you strip away, it means if you remove the myth away. So if you strip away the myth, you guys know what myth is, right? Don't even need to mention. And look at their deeds. What are deeds? When you strip away, when you remove the myth of the Jedi, the great Jedi Knights, and you look at their deeds and you look at their accomplishments, their achievements, see, accomplishments. Okay, I missed a C. And you look at their achievements, right? So deeds are accomplishments, achievements, são feitos, né? Então, when you remove the myth and you look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris. Continuando, pause. It's hypocrisy, it's hubris. What does hubris means? What does it mean? Hubris is greed. And when you think about it, right, when you think about episodes 2 and 3, when the Jedi are, actually when the Empire, the Sith, né, o pessoal ali, o que toma conta do Império, the Empire of Sith, that's the name of the people in the movie. The Jedi are like, oh, if we knew, we would know that the senator, that the Congress is being held by the Sith. Tem uma fala ali bem arrogante, acho que do Yoda, num dos episódios, agora não lembro se foi no 3, no 2 ou no 3, que são aqueles que foram gravados ali no final de 90, início de 2000, que ele fala, né, se o Sith estivesse ali controlando, if Sith was controlling the Congress, we would know. So he was arrogant. So when you see the legacy of the Jedi, it's failure, it's hypocrisy, it's hubris, it's greed. They believed to be good, to be the best, but they allowed the greed to not necessarily the greed, but also the pride to blind them. And then Rey's like, that's not true. How can you say that? That's about the Jedi, right? Why would you say such a thing about the Jedi? But that is true. That's true. Let's go back here and look at their conversation again.
The Jedi are romanticized, deified. But if you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris.
That's not true.
At the height of their powers, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
And here, basically, Luke confirms what I just told you guys. So, at the height of their powers, so at the height, when the Jedi were at their fullest, and when the Jedi was the most powerful beings out there, at the height of their powers, okay? At the height, na altura, at the height of their powers, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise. Okay, so their arrogance, because we are the most powerful beings in the universe, and people look to us for protection, for knowledge, for wisdom, yet they allowed Darth Sidious to rise. Who is Darth Sidious? A gente, assim, quando eu era mais nova, eu falava assim, eu sou mais fã de Star Trek do que de Star Wars. Eu amo Star Trek. Mas depois que você pega ali, você assiste Star Wars na cronologia, it's impossible for you not to like it. It's a very intricate story. It's very complex. And who was Darth Sidious? Darth Sidious was Darth Vader's master, trainer. So he created the power. He manipulated I believe it's the Congress, the senator at the time. He manipulated Padme, who was the queen, to put aside the is it counselor? It's like the prime minister of them, so that a new election could be made and Darth Sidious took over. And that all under the cover of, oh, Padme, you a great queen. We have to fight the Sidious, the Sith are taking over the vice king, blá blá blá, né? Tem todo aquele contexto ali de manipulação. E Darth Sidious, que eles não sabiam que fazia parte do Sith, que estava sendo controlado pelo Sith, to rise. They allowed Darth Sidious to rise and create the Empire and wipe them out. What does it mean to wipe them out? So this is a phrasal verb, to wipe. What does it mean to wipe? Oh, when you're eating, you grab your napkin and you wipe your mouth. Or you can wipe the counters with a paper towel. Então, to wipe significa, por exemplo, limpar, né, a boca quando você tá ali, né, comendo. Oh, let me wipe the mouth. Or let me wipe the counters, né? Deixa eu passar um paninho aqui no balcão. So, to wipe them out, what does it mean out? Remember, the meaning of the phrasal verb is determined and modified by the preposition they have with the verb, with the main action. So out means out there. So to wipe them out, it means to exterminate. And that's what they did. The clones, right? They have the Clone Wars. During the Clone Wars, once it was time for the Empire to take over the Republic, what happened? Darth Sidious sent the command, and all of the battalions that were being led by a Jedi turned on the Jedi and killed them. So they exterminated the Jedi. And only Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda remained. Okay? They were that powerful that they weren't able to be killed, né? Então, ali somente durante a Guerra dos Clones, né? Os batalhões que eram liderados por Jedis se viraram contra o Jedi, a mando de Darth Sidious, and they all killed all the Jedis. Okay, so I think this is on episode 2. So he goes on, it was a Jedi Master who's responsible for training and creation of Darth Vader. Who was this Jedi Master he's talking about? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay? So Obi-Wan Kenobi who is the one who is responsible for training the and creation of Darth Vader. So, who is Darth Vader? Gente, isso aqui é uma sátira, não é sátira, mas é uma zoeira muito conhecida, principalmente among the nerds, né? No meio dos nerds. Was Anakin Skywalker. Okay, spoiler alert. Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker is Luke's father, and Vader means father in German. That's why Darth Sidious gave Anakin Skywalker this name, Vader. All right, so let's take a look at what Rey answers Luke. Okay, guys? Just go back a little bit.
Creation of Darth Vader.
And a Jedi who saved him. Yes, the most hated man in the galaxy, but you saw there was conflict inside him. You believed that he wasn't gone, that he could be turned.
And I became a legend. For many years there was balance. And then I saw Ben, my nephew, with that mighty Skywalker blood. And in my hubris, I thought I could train him, I could pass on my strengths. Han was Han about it, but Leia trusted me with her son. I took him and a dozen students and began a training temple.
All right, so Rey, she goes, and the Jedi who saved him. Yeah, so here we have Darth Vader, right, was Obi-Wan Kenobi's apprentice. He became Darth Vader, and then Luke basically saved Anakin, right? Anakin Skywalker. So you are, Rey's like, yeah, you are the Jedi who saved him, who saved Darth Vader. He goes, yes, the most hated man in the galaxy, but you saw there was conflict inside him. There was. Lembre-se, gente, aqui, ó, quero enfatizar o there was, tenho certeza. I'm sure you guys are tired of knowing what there was means, right? There was, it's in the past. É o havia. Mas você viu que tinha conflito ali dentro. Como conflito é um sentimento, ali eu não posso falar que and you saw que a gente pode até falar o ter ali com o sentido de existir, mas no inglês, até tentar você falar o have ali, colocar o has, but you saw had conflict, é estranho, é esquisito, não soa legal, não soa bom isso. Então, sempre que nós estivermos falando de ter com o sentido de existir, a gente vai usar o there is, there was. Ok, guys? Então, nesse caso, e esse é um exemplo perfeito, porque ele tinha conflito ali dentro. Havia conflito ali dentro. Então, se você consegue substituir esse ter pelo haver, there is. Alright? So, but you saw there was conflict inside him. You believed that he wasn't gone and he could be turned. I love her accent. I love the way she says gone. Eu não tenho tanta experiência com os sotaques ingleses, mas com certeza não é um sotaque londrino, digamos assim, né? But you believed he wasn't gone. That could be turned. That he could be turned. Turned. She doesn't even say the R. That he could be turned. Right? Let's just listen to her say again. I think she's so cute. I love the British accent. Although I cannot speak it properly.
Strengths. Hans.
Well, didn't go back enough.
You believe that he wasn't gone, that he could be.
See, you believe that he wasn't gone.
You believe that he wasn't gone, that he could be turned.
He could be turned.
Became a legend. For many years there was balance. And then I saw Ben, my nephew, with that mighty Skywalker blood. And in my hubris, I thought I could train him. I could pass on my strengths. Han was Han about it, but Leia trusted me with her son. I took him and a dozen students and began a training temple.
So here he goes, and I became a legend. Right? Wow, Luke Skywalker saved Darth Vader from the dark side. And he went back to being Anakin Skywalker. And he became a legend. For many years, it was balance. So because he did that, he was able to pull Anakin from the dark force. There was a balance. Was it? Was there really balance? Né? Se eu tivesse tido mesmo, né, equilíbrio, a balance, maybe the empire wouldn't have grown so much. And then I saw Ben. Remember I mentioned Ben Solo. Ben Solo is Luke's nephew. Ben is the son of Leia with Han Solo. Leia, y'all know who Leia is. Han Solo is the character of Harrison Ford. Okay, so, and then I saw Ben, my nephew, with that mighty Skywalker blood. Mighty. What does that mean? With that mighty, with that powerful Skywalker blood. And in my hubris, here's that word again. So remember, I mentioned hubris up here. What does that mean? Greed, pride. So in this case, he's using hubris with the sense of pride. And in my pride, in my arrogance, okay, I thought I could train him. I thought I could train him. I could pass on my strengths. So pass on has two meanings. We have the meaning that we have here in this context, right? I could pass on. It means that I'm passing my strengths, my knowledge. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm passing on my knowledge to you guys. I could pass on my strengths. Han, was Han about it? Né? The second meaning, sorry guys. The second meaning, it means he passed on, he moved on. Tá? So here we can say transfer, right, in this case, and it can also mean he moved, to move on. Yeah, I passed on to better things. I moved on. Okay, Han was Han about it, but Leia trusted me with her son. Can you imagine Leia? Oh my gosh, my son, he's able to touch the force. Is he going to be that guy? Or is he going to be like my brother? Eh? So I took him and a dozen students, right? He tried to rebuild the Jedi Knights. Ele tentou, né, reconstruir. He tried to rebuild the Jedi Knights. So I took him, a dozen other students, and began a training temple. By the time I realized, okay, realize, ele é uma palavrinha assim que pode ser usado, posso utilizar realize como realizou? Yeah, I realized my dreams. But in this case, it doesn't have that meaning. Okay, it can be considered a false cognate. Why? By the time I realized, by the time I noticed, or by the time I came to my to my senses, by the time I came to understand, and by the time I came to see, I was no match. I was no match for the darkness rising in him. It was too late. Okay, so he was trying to train Ben Solo. He was trying to bring Ben Solo to the light, to be good, to do what is good. But the darkness inside Ben was just too much. Okay, so let's continue watching our scene, shall we?
By the time I realized I was no match for the darkness rising in him, it was too late.
What happened?
I went to confront him, and he turned on me. He must have thought I was dead. When I came to, the temple was burning. He had vanished with a handful of my students and slaughtered the rest. Leia blamed Snoke, but it was me. I failed. Because I was Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master. A legend.
All right. What happened? I went to confront him. Sorry, guys. So he went after Ben. He was like, look, we need to talk about the darkness that is rising in you. And this is not good. I don't want you to become a bad person like your grandpa. Okay, so I need you to follow my training. Engraçado, nessa história é bem complexa, né? Darth Vader is Kylo Ren's grandfather. Right? So I went to confront. Yes. Eu acabei me confundindo, que é tão complexa essa história que às vezes eu fiquei, peraí, me perdi um pouco na história, né? Então, Anakin Skywalker, he married Padme, who was the queen and then became a senator. They had twins. Anakin was consumed by the fear of Padme dying at childbirth. And by that, he became vulnerable to the point that he allowed the darkness inside him to grow. And he became Darth Vader. When the twins were born, they got separated at birth. Luke went to live with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Leia went on to live with General Organa. Okay? So they didn't know they were brother and sisters until later on in the story. So he went on to confront his nephew. Please, Ben, don't do this. Don't become your grandfather. He wasn't a good person and all that. But, of course, it wasn't like that. All right? I'm just making it colorful. He turned on me. Okay. When someone is enraged, when someone is angry, you can say that that person turns on you. Have you ever been in a situation like this? Vocês já estiveram numa situação assim onde a pessoa ela tá tão consumida por raiva que that she turns on you, get out of here, you know, that it means to turn on. That he attacked. He turned on me. He attacked me. He must have thought I was dead. He must have, né? Must é modal verb that indicates an obligation, in a sense. Nesse caso, ele deve ter pensado, né? Tipo, por toda a destruição ali ao redor, and Skywalker estando desacordado, he must have thought Luke was dead. When I came to, like when I woke up, when I realized, when I finally, the temple was burning and he vanished, né? Quem aqui costuma lavar suas próprias sopas? Se você costuma lavar suas próprias sopas, if you are used to doing your own laundry, you know a little product called Vanish, which promises to clean your clothes and remove all the stains. So to vanish, or he vanished, it means to disappear. So he vanished, he disappeared with a handful of my students. So all the students who were prone to allow the dark side to take hold were gone with Kylo Ren, and the rest were slaughtered. And the rest of them were slaughtered. They were massacred. Killed. All right. Leia blamed Snoke. Who's Snoke? Snoke is the new Sith Master, the new Dark Force Master. He is the one who recruits the young to turn to the dark side. He brainwashes them. Basically, Snoke is the devil, in a sense. So Leia blamed, she put the fault a culpa, on Snoke. So Leia blamed Snoke, but it was me. No. So while Leia blamed Snoke for Kylo, for Ben Solo turning to the dark force, to the dark side, Luke Skywalker blames himself. He failed his nephew, but he was too arrogant at the time, because that was Luke Skywalker, a Jedi Master, a legend. I was a legend. How can I let my nephew be turned to the dark side? But he did, so he blames himself for letting Ben turn to the dark side.
The galaxy may need a legend. I need someone to show me my place in all this. And you didn't fail Kylo. Kylo failed you. I won't.
So, and then here the last line. Rey goes a motivational line for Skywalker, who was depressed. He had isolated himself into an island, protecting some scriptures of the Jedi and whatnot. So she goes on, the galaxy may need a legend. And that's true. Sometimes the person may not even do much. But when they see a legend of a fable creature, someone who defeated Darth Vader, it gives them hope, something to hold on to. And she goes on, and I need someone to show me my place in all of this. You didn't fail Kylo. Kylo failed you. I won't. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, don't worry. I'll bring some other stuff for you guys for sure. But if you are and you want to have more classes on Star Wars, just let me know. All right. I'll see you in the next one.